Hello and welcome back to Rage Gaming and welcome back to Tears of the Kingdom. Today we're talking about the depths because I'm wearing the full depths outfit. The hood, the tunic and the gaiters, which give you gloom resistance while wearing it. Also from the same region is the dark hood, the dark tunic and the dark trousers for the Dark Link set, which even gives you speed bonuses at night. This place is a massive underground, connected by the dormant light route all over the place, which we have to activate and restore life and light to the region with. Filled with useful technology and details such as the auto build feature, shops that allow you to buy energy conduits and improve your energy well, how much battery you have, all of this leads to much smoother gameplay and exploration of this massive region with many layers and many details to it. Today I'm putting together a quick guide on the main aspects of it, details I think you need to know and things I kind of wish I did as I've been exploring it for hours and hours and hours. So my name is Holo and this is my guide to the depths in Tears of the Kingdom. So let's begin with revealing this place. These icons are the light route, which work much like shrines do, allowing you to fast travel to them. By unlocking light route and connecting them together, you create routes of light. As you can see, this section is lit up, but the gap between these sections is still dark. The gap between these sections is still dark. You must create a path between them via the light route to reveal the map. Something that helps find where these are, other than visually seeing them in the dark, is to actually look at the ground level. Because, for example, this shrine right here, below it is a light route. And it's interesting because they just take the name, Zanmik, and reverse it to Kimnaz. So you actually know where all of the light route is if you know where a shrine above it is on the map. And down here there are many towers and bases and even Zonaite machine stations where parts are on shelves and on the floor, allowing you to craft your own machines. Making your own flying machine or ground vehicle here to speed up traversal is massive. The first machine that you'll be suggested is this one, 3 fans and a kite. But what I recommend is this. It's 2 fans and a control panel, which is also cheaper, especially if I happen to have fans laying around. And as you can see, I just take control of it, push forward, and let the fans do the work. I can push forward and go straight forward, even go down, or pull back and go straight up, as you can see, much like an elevator. And this allows me to traverse this area with serious precision and a lot smoother gameplay. Some areas in this are tight and difficult to traverse, and having a flying machine like this that has a bit more control and specific ability, it's an absolute gift. Now, you've seen me make use of auto build a few times here. This is actually unlocked where I'm standing right now. And as you can see, there are schematics that allow me to pull together resources around me to make these things. Or if there aren't any of these resources, it will quite literally make them on the spot out of nowhere, such as this bridge. As you can see, this will cost me 18 Zonaite to spawn in without any resources. However, if we were to look at, say, the schematic for the fan plane, and I've got a glider and 1 fan here, you see how it makes it cheaper. Instead of costing, say, 12, this only costs 6 because I'm only spawning in 2 fans here. It's all unlocked here at the Great Abandoned Central Mine, which is just south of the first crater that you should enter from as part of the tutorial. This crater right here is the one that's just south of Lookout Landing. So you come south, drop down the crater, and make your way down southwest, following the story that kind of brings you right here, and then that is right next to the Great Abandoned Central Mine. Come here, do a special event, and then you'll unlock auto build, which is vital for surviving down here. To power our contraptions, of course, we're going to use a battery. You start with 3, and you can see that I've extended mine quite a lot. To increase it, there are a variety of ways, but it all comes down to this, crystalized charge. You need 100 of this for every single cell upgrade on your batteries. As you can see, this guy is quite literally a vendor for these things. And what does he trade in? He trades in Zonaite, but he has a limited supply. I can buy all of them for 90 Zonaite, which is great. These larger ones use a different resource. They use large Zonaite. Large Zonaite is normally used for auto building big contraptions, but this is so important to increase your battery that it's well worth doing. Now I have over 100. This first forge is unlocked when you come here to the Great Abandoned Central Mine, but there are actually other forges and other shops you can activate. Once this guy runs out of stock, you don't want to wait until, say, the Blood Moon to reset. Well, then you can go activate other forges. For example, down here to the southeast, the abandoned Lurlin mine is one forged construct, selling more from more Zonaite. Another one to the northeast here, another forged construct, here next to the Kimnaz light route at the Hateno mine. If I look at the ground to show you where this is, there's a nice entrance right here by the Rebelia Wetlands Skyview Tower in this crater, bringing us quite near to both of them. Another way to get crystallized charges though is by exploring down here in the depths. By defeating the big bosses, they will actually drop crystallized charge, usually about 20, or in say the abandoned mines or outposts, you'll find chests that just have some in it, usually about 20. When you have 100 or more though, it's time to upgrade your energy cells at the Crystal Refinery, which as you can see is here at the Natoya Shrine, which is one of the beginner shrines on the Great Sky Island, the Tutorial Island. When we arrive, the construct is just waiting to speak to us, and when speaking to him you just need to choose Get Producing to spend your 100 charges for one well. And after a short animation, we'll get our energy well, which increases the size of our battery, and now I do have 4 full batteries as shown by the batteries on my hip. But now it's time to talk about Zonaite, because everything I've just explained is somehow tied to Zonaite. Fortunately, there's a pretty easy way to get some at the beginning. Now, because you've done this great abandoned central mine as it's key to a lot of different things, fortunately for you, there's actually a canyon mine just to the southwest. In here is an absolute ton of Zonaite to mine. As you can see, you can just run around hitting things and getting Zonaite like normal, or you can also loot the massive Zonaite, sort of orbs of Zonaite, and it's probably best to throw bombs or explosions at these, because then, you know, you get all the Zonaite a lot quicker instead of manually hitting them. There's quite a few around that big one, but there's another mine to the southeast, the Falora Canyon mine right here. A lot more Zonaite can be found there as well. If that's not enough for you, there's also one to the northwest, right here as I've marked, the Daphne's Canyon mine. Again, it has big clusters there, so you can get plenty. Usually when I do a loop of these 3, it takes me like 10, maybe 15 minutes, and I'll get between 200 and 300 Zonaite in a run. As you can see though, there are other mines, plenty around the world, and loads in the depths in general. So now let's talk schematics with the auto build, because as you go through that story and unlock it, you'll be given this schematic for the fan plane, or you can make your own and then save them by favoriting them. To unlock more schematics though, you're going to need to find the schematic stones. For example, here we have a forge construct where we set up another merchant. At the abandoned Hateno mine, which again is just below Hateno village, there's a second construct you can speak to with the Ultra Hand symbol to unlock it. When speaking with him, he'll detect that you don't have the schematic he has available, and he'll just give it to you. In this case, it's a 6-tile bridge, which is amazing for getting across gaps, up to higher places. You can find these schematics all over the depths by talking to the constructs in different abandoned mines and bases to get these specific unlocks, but you can also find them at Yiga clan outposts, after defeating the special red symbol enemy that's locking the room with the schematic inside of it. These are generally less interesting schematics I found in terms of application, although some of them do seem good for combat, but there are many to be found and unlocked down here in the depths. But now it's time to talk about how to make surviving in the depths easier. While this set certainly makes us quicker in the dark, which is nice, it's the depths set that actually provides us with up to 3 hearts of gloom resistance, which is absolutely incredible. Gloom resistance basically makes it so every time you step on the gloom, you actually have a buffer of a heart. Once that's consumed, it will actually get to your hearts and start giving your real hearts gloom, which will be bad, but it regens super quick. Step in, lose the heart, step out, it regens in a few seconds and you can go back in again. The more gloom resistance you have though when fighting gloom enemies down there, it'll actually prevent them from even dealing damage to you. This can of course be gained by this set, which we're going to explain. But there's something you can do a lot easier and a lot quicker to begin with before getting this set to make things easier for yourself, and that is through cooking. Firstly, we have things like the Deep Firefly, which you will pick up down there. This can give you a way to glow down there. All you need is a Firefly itself and then any monster part. As you can see, 1 Firefly and a monster part, basic monster part, will give me 3 minutes of glow. Next to that, we also have food that will cleanse gloom if you've actually been affected by it. All it takes is 1 Sunderlion, which is a plant that grows in any sunny spot and basically across all of the Sky Islands. 1 cooked on its own will actually cleanse you of 3 gloom hearts at once, whereas 2 gives you 6 and 3 will give you 9. You can also add food to add heals to this effect, like meat or vegetables or otherwise. This will then cleanse you of the hearts and then restore those lost hearts as well, which is nice. You can also get further gloom resistance without wearing the armor set, using dark clumps and then any herb or meat or otherwise. The more dark clumps you use, the longer this effect will last, but of course the armor set is the best way to get that. But now it's time to talk about the Depths armor set itself, which is majorly impactful. It's a questline that starts here in Lookout Landing with this statue who desires Poes. When you speak to him, you'll need to offer 1 Poe to get things started. And as you can see, he offers me quite a selection of things at this point, and we can see the cost of all of it. The full Dark set will cost you 650, and the full Depth set again will cost you 650. The problem is you need to get each individual piece to progress it. So you'll first see that you have the Dark Tunic for 150. When you buy that, he will then tell you where the next statue is, and then that next statue will offer you the Tunic of the Depths. You must buy that from him, and he'll tell you that there's a third statue, and so on, and you have to buy each piece to progress it. This means you need 1,300 Poes in total, which might sound like a lot, but you often get them in clumps when picking them up, which is like 10 to 20 at a time, and they're kind of everywhere. If you go to the bases and outposts and abandoned mines and forges like I've been talking about, you'll find tons of them, and you'll find bigger Poes which can give you multiple in one go. Some even give you 20 in a single Poe, which makes this a lot easier. So by exploring the mines, picking things up, looking for schematics, you'll be picking up tons of Poes. And by going to the statues themselves on the way to unlock them and find them, you'll find a ton of them. So it's not really as bad as it might sound. Now we know that though, it's time for us to follow the process. We start by buying the Dark Tunic from the Poe statue in Lookout Landing here for the 150 Poes. Then he'll tell you to pay him 10 more Poes, and he'll give you the location of the next statue, which is actually found in the depths. This one, as you'll see on your map, is right here, just northeast of the Great Abandoned Central Mine, which, if we look at the map, is southeast of that first crater that we go down. So head southeast and go to the Bargainer statue. From here, it'll update the stock because you did buy the chest piece, and you'll be able to buy the Depths chest piece for 150 Poes. Now it's time to go to the second underground statue. To find this, you'll need to go here to Mount Lanayru and use the Skyview Tower to jump down into the crater just to the west of that. When we come down, you can see that very close to it, just to the east, is the Wellspring of Wisdom where the statue is. I would recommend though that you go to this light route first just to light up the area, and then head down into the crater to get the Wellspring of Wisdom. This one's a bit awkward because it's like halfway down the waterfall as you go down, so keep a lookout for that. After you buy the Dark Boots, which cost 200 Poe, we can go to the next statue. This one is here, which if we take a look at the ground, you can see that it's next to the Ulri Mountain Skyview Tower, which is the northeast section of the map. This crater right here serves as a perfect entrance to the area, and by heading northwest, you can see there's a light route and the Wellspring itself, which is pretty straightforward to get to. Upon reaching it though, we will have to buy the next boots. These will be the Depths boots for 200 Poe once again. Once we've done that, we can head to the fourth statue underground. This one's all the way down south at the Poplar Foothills Skyview Tower. Just west of that is the crater. So as we drop down, you can see just southeast of that is the Bargainer statue, but this one is a bit more complicated. To let you know how to get there on the map though, you're going to want to get the route that's right here. Then you must work your way around this, kind of like a bridge as you're in a tunnel, and work your way around to the Construct Factory. Making your way up, and behind that you will find the light route. And then again you'll be faced with another uphill battle. We must make our way up and through here to the other side of the Wellspring of Courage. And this is where it's revealed that those statue heads are actually part of a giant body, which is really cool. Making your way up to the top of that body to speak to the head, then you will now be able to buy the next piece, which is the Dark Hood for 300 Poe. Finally, after we've done that, we can move to the last statue, which is actually at the highest point in the depths to my understanding. You'll need to head here at the northern Skyview Tower, the Thifler Ruins, and of course again there's a crater just next to it. We go down into that crater and we need to head southwest to the Bargainer statue. This might appear like it's not that far or difficult to get to. It is a bit difficult to get to. Head southwest and go ahead and get the first light route. Then cross over the canyon mine and come down here to the next light route. This will light up the path and reveal where you need to go, which is behind and up to the north, up a massive hill which goes up and up and up and up. This is why these contraptions, these Zonaite machines that I've shown you, are vital. Climbing all the way to the top and speaking to his head, finally at this very epic point, you can buy the Hood of the Depths for 300 Poes, and you will now have all three pieces of both sets. This set is incredible because of the 3 Gloom hearts, and incredible for surviving and making your way down in the depths in the future. So the sooner you do this, the better it really is. But getting at least the chest piece, maybe the boots, is not hard at all, and that will be 1 to 2 Gloom resistance hearts permanently while you're down there. I would strongly recommend at least that. When wearing the full set, you'll have the night speed up with the dark set. And what's really cool about this is that there's a little detail in the fact that you're kind of an evil looking Link, that you will actually scare people when you go near them. Feels empowering. But there you have it. That is my overview of the depths, the things that are down there, details that you need to know, and how to get the 2 ideal sets that come from that region. I do hope this was useful to you, and if you have any further tips to help others in that tough area down there, then maybe you drop it in the comments, maybe you'll help someone. But if the video has helped you though, please do drop a like on it. I put a lot of work into this one, but we'll be back again for more videos on Tears of the Kingdom and more information to help you. So until next time, I've been Hollow, you've been you, thanks for watching, we'll see you in the next one.
Josh, Cotton, and Hollow with the videos, dropping the humor like a hammer on your tippy toes, bringing entertainment on a daily arrangement to take our insanity and turn it into entertainment. Yes, I said entertainment twice, to reiterate that it is nice to look into your faces on a mostly daily basis when you let us in your homes to make the whole world a stage. Goodbye.